Because of our human weakness, we need help from something outside of ourselves. How do we engage a power stronger and different than we are? In making a covenant with the holy and powerful God, the Israelites consecrated themselves to stand in His awesome presence. Today's key verse reads, "And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount." Exodus chapter 19, verse 17. Mount Sinai is the mountain where God talked with Moses and gave him the Ten Commandments, also called the Law. This mountain is often paired with Mount Horeb. Scholars believe Horeb is the mountain range and Mount Sinai is a mountain summit on the ridge. Scholars do not agree on the exact geographic location of Mount Sinai. Jebel Serbel in the central Sinai and Jebel Musa in southern Sinai have been the major contenders. Mount Sinai is viewed as sacred, not only in the Jewish tradition, but also for Christians and Muslims as well. On the morning of the third day following their time of consecration, God displayed himself through thunder, lightning, a dense cloud, and the sound of a loud trumpet. Mount Sinai was completely enveloped in smoke. The smoke went out as though from a furnace, and the mountain shook. Thunder, lightning, and smoke have often been associated with God's presence throughout the Old and New Testaments. God's presence caused the whole mountain to quake. This is the same verb that was used in verse 16 concerning the people's response to the thunder, lightning, and cloud. God's presence causes both the people and the mountain itself to tremble. God shows himself to the people and commands them through various sounds, including the trumpet, thunder, and his voice. The New Living Translation captures the connection by saying that God thundered his reply. The trumpet keeps getting louder in order to reveal how powerful God's voice is, louder than even the loudest horn, akin to the sound of thunder. For the believer, God's presence signals his power and sovereignty. God is not just at a special designated holy place. He lives within us. This means that our entire lives are consecrated to Him on a daily basis. With this knowledge, we walk in the fear of the Lord. Although we do not witness the same visual spectacle as the Israelites did at the foot of Mount Sinai, still we are in awe of God's presence just the same. And we fear God, which means that we respect and reverence Him. In verse 20, God only calls Moses up to the mountain and not the priests. A constant going to and fro from the mountain shows God and Moses exchanging dialogue and continuing their relationship. Yet if any of the Israelites were to go up to the mountain, they would die. Later, God calls Aaron, Moses' brother, to join in the dialogue. God appoints Aaron as Moses' mouthpiece to speak on Moses' behalf. Moses was readying the people for their introduction to God. Moses' encounters with God foreshadow man's need for a mediator, Jesus. God wanted to reinforce the ongoing message that the only way to come into His presence without judgment is through an intermediary assigned by Him. As the Israelites had Moses, we have Jesus, our divine intermediary, who goes to the Father on our behalf. Self-sufficiency is one of our most dangerous fallacies. An extreme focus on what I deserve or my rights and my priority allows many to believe they don't need anyone else. But the Israelites needed Moses to be the mediator for them, even after consecrating themselves. We need Jesus as our mediator because our best righteousness is like filthy rags. We are never too important to need others, especially God.